Alright, mutant.
Listen, all you motherfuckers!
Alright, yeah, we're gonna just get rid of that techno right there. Hey guys, what's up? This is Cass with a K. I'm gonna be bringing you a 3v3 tournament hosted by BL Gaming. This is the US Weekly here that we're gonna be watching. We do have a fair amount of teams today, and it looks like, you know, my XSplit broadcaster is holding in, not gonna be lagging up. Hopefully no issues come up. We do have 16 teams in the works, and of course joining me today is going to be Tazosaurus. He is better from his concussion, but Taz, how you doing, buddy?
It's good to be back, man. It's been one hell of a week, that's for sure. Never actually gotten a concussion before, but you know, I was gone Saturday to help brother-in-law move, and you know, as a result, I got hurt, and pretty badly, so I was out of it for a week, but I'm glad to be back now.
You know, I'm gonna probably hear you saying, you know, great shadow bolt there across the screen from a gunner, and it's like, you know, hopefully none of that.
No, not that, man. Not yet.
Not yet.
It wasn't as bad as I had originally thought it was, but when it happened, I couldn't even stand up, so it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, concussions are no joke, and you know, I'm just glad you're better and you're actually able to broadcast. So, we are the best ditchers, apparently, according to Arborus. Good jokes, kid. Good jokes. Shoutouts to Arborus and, you know, this warm team, Team Mushin. It's not their usual lineup.
Mushin?
Yeah, slightly modified Mushin. It seems like their team members are always shifting in and out. But, you know, we're going to have Mushin on the warm team. And on the cold team, we're going to be having the Bossman. If you want to check out where I got this kind of info, well, it's on my Skype, but it's also in the brackets at blgtv.net. It will reroute you to blgaming.com/blgtv. And over on the right side, you can click the brackets link. And, oh no. Hey, alright, my game almost crashed, but...
Yeah, it was freezing a little bit there. I don't know if it's because of the new patch. I haven't played a whole lot this week, so... you know, everything seems a little bit... different, but you know, it's just the team switch around again, so we'll see who's going to be a staple into this tournament again. As the old Mushin the old Mushin minus Chuck is back, so take the first one for me, Cass.
Alright, yep, sorry, I think I might have my music on a little bit too low for Bloodline Champions here, as I was doing some testing earlier with the broadcaster, but nice pull there by Splatter. He's going to get those other two warm team members in on the fight, but look at this. Mac over there playing the Blood Priest just goes down after his possession. Mega Zero being relentless on that machine gun. And man, tons of action happening so quickly. And this warm team, Team Mushin, definitely showing why they are some of the best, if not the best players in the U.S. right now. So, you know, very convincing win, and, you know, good job by them. What do you think the cold team should do?
In short, play better. I'd say they need to find a way to protect their BP, though, because they got annihilated pretty early in that game. And he was pretty much a non-factor that entire time. He got 92 heals off, most of it due to blood shield. So, I mean, if you just get a shield off, then obviously it's going to help, but if you have to use it on yourself, it's not going to do a whole lot of anything, as, you know, there's just so much pressure coming out from this Engineer-Vanguard combo, and it's great to see Vanguard played again, as, you know, Pete, a.k.a. Sunby, was really big on it back in the days. Mega Zero taking a lot of pressure right here, as he is going to jump out and be fine. He's going to get other-sided, and he will be fine for the time being, but they are going to stick to him, and they're going to try and take him out here, as they are Tunnel Master Saurus onto him, and he's just jumping around trying to look for a way out, as Z Platter on that Thorn is just not letting up. One more hit is going to be it, and Mega Zero is going to go down, so unfortunately they weren't able to make anything happen themselves, as BP seems to be in decent shape, but look at Brulin, he just took a ton of damage right there. Arborus with that, I can't remember what this ulti's called anymore, ulti Soulbind, just huge damage though, taking out that Revener so quickly, and Sunby just look at M1 spam onto Madquist right here on this BP, and one more, that's going to do it. So a 2v1 situation all the way, oh man, EX charge swapped right there. That was pretty impressive that he just barely was about half a centimeter away from that Thorn and got swapped, so I don't know if that's really good aiming or just hilarity happening, but you know, really good comeback there from Team Mushin, as they were down 2-3, and they just took it 2-1.
Well, I mean, that is the power of Psychopomp with the Guardian Spirit right there. The ultimate. There you go. Get that concussion. Just blame it on the concussion, Taz. You know, you've got an excuse now. I have nothing.
Are people... Is my mic fucked up? What's going on?
It might be something with the broadcaster. Right now, the sound for the game is actually incredibly low, although I turned it up and it's only, outputting a certain audio level. So I'll have to fix that after this match. But, we're going to try and see a little bit of pressure on a Mega Zero here. He's just getting out, though, very wise. The Cold team is split up. And look at that, Sunby using that intercept, the EX shield bash, to make sure that this Blood Priest is out of position. Very good job right there. Now, he can't heal his team. He's just trying to run for his life. And there you go. Z-Splatter going to come back in, try and help him out, but he could be dying in the meantime. Sunby actually getting down to about 50% HP. The Ravener trying to do all the work he can, but that machine gun is just going to be proving to be a little bit too fatal as it goes 3-0.
Yep, and very strong play from Mushin here so far. And they're looking quite good. As, they're... It's kind of weird because the old Mushin with Chuck instead of Arborist never really had a consistent healer. Usually Mega and Sunby would take turns healing, as Chuck usually always played DPS or something to that effect. So, Arborist is very well known by at least our... Cass died.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just restarting real quick if you read.
Okay.
Because the sound, even though I had it turned up in the mixer for some reason, it was only outputting 3%, and I have it up on 100% output if possible. So hopefully this will fix any kind of issues we're running into right now. It's been a mess. I've been trying to, redo the whole XSplit broadcaster and, make sure it's not the same updates, trying to get a better Flash player or the older version so that it didn't mess up as much. But, it's to no avail. I can't win. I can't get those title layers back so you can see the team names and things like that. It just keeps messing up, and it's trying to look for a flash file that I don't have because I'm on a 64-bit system. I don't know. So, I'm trying to contact XSplit, but they haven't given me any word back, so we'll have to see when that issue gets resolved.
Hopefully soon. Yeah, I was saying, though, Mushin now with Arborist, he's very well known in the old BLG community as being a very strong healer, and he usually only plays healer in competitive matches, so... now that they have a consistent healer to always play for them, Sunby Mega can always defer to playing DPS instead, as they are very skilled on their respective classes. And it's be nice to see Sunby make a return on Vanguard, as he was so well known for it back in the old days. And by old days, I mean 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, it just seems like this game has been going on for so long. I've been commentating... We've been commentating for at least... 5 months?
I'm going on 6 months.
You're going on 6 months, and I started,
so.
2 months before you, or more. So, dang, 8 months of commentary. That's absolutely wild. And I guess, last week was one of the first times I've had a break. So I apologize for just doing that unannounced. I just needed to take a step back and just be what am I doing? And, rethink all the plans for BLG and for myself, as well as work hard at my waitering job that I got recently. So I'm actually busier during the day. I can't do as much with the website. But, that's why I sort of took a step back, got my mindset right, and now I'm going to be more focused and optimized rather than just, doing things as they come. I'll actually have a plan and a timeline. That's the story behind that, so don't worry. I didn't die, didn't get in a car wreck or anything. I heard everybody was flipping out and wondering where I went.
It's okay, 2 GD covered, so it was all good. Thankfully, thanks to Rexus, I believe, who got that hooked up for us. We actually had 2 GD cast on that for our Kill the King tournament. And from what I heard, in Soviet Russia did win again, so that's 4 weeks for them. But either way, we're going back to map number 2 here for this first round matchup for the U.S. Weekly 3v3 tournament. Mushin against Bad Boys, something like that?
No, it is going to be... Bossman, Team Bossman.
See, yeah. I got the B right, so I'm getting there.
Close.
And we do see Arborist switching to Blood Priest here, so we'll see what he can/decide to do with that. As it's a little harder to deal with harassment, but at the same time, we'll see what he decides to do. As wow, that swarm does a big knockback, a lot bigger than I thought it was. And already this Nomad dropping below half HP as the Tractor Beam comes out into Brulin. Brulin taking a lot of damage, but also Magquist. Oh, nice EMP there. Blind EMP on the other sided Psycho Pump right there, hitting her out of that, and that was pretty clutch. But either way, though, they're just getting backed into a corner, and this is not where they want to be right now, but they really don't have anywhere else to go, and this corner is going to be the death of them, about 1,600% sure, as right there, Nomad does drop. and Thorn looks like he's going to be close behind. Oh, Brewland just getting pulled in by the tractor beam, and actually Thorn's going to drop first. Brewland quickly behind as they're just going to dodge that and make that a quick 1-0 round in this map.
It's a miniature blood priest that you can put in your pocket right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Much easier to look at.
And much easier to look at, I know. Not so fat anymore, is he? But, I think it's sort of funny that Sunbee's doing the intercept. Oh, what? Why is he... Wow, that's a major bug. What is going on? So, alright, devs, might have to watch that one, but... it's funny that Intercept is being used by Sunbee, knocking people out of position, and Mega Zero is also using Tractor Beam. It's very hard for anybody to get anything done on this Cold team with that kind of movement abilities going on. And look at this. Z-Platter, I guess Splatter, I guess in short, is what it's really going to be. He's just going off out into the corner. He tried to go against Mega Zero, and... You could say, in a small respect, that Engineer does like a small counter against Thorn. He can EMP the roots, he can slow him, he can, shrink himself if Thorn gets close, or if, any of the slow debuffs get on him, things like that. So, trying to not only
big Thorn.
Do your matchup. Oh, yeah, Vanguard, humongous. You gotta know your matchup and also play as a team. Thorn is there. He can be a Tunnel Master if you're against, bad opponents, but he has those slows which can help out his team and help his other allies do a lot of damage, because they'll slow it for Nomad can hit more boomerangs, etc, things like that. But we're gonna get on to this next round here as I keep blabbering on about nothing.
Yeah, well, it's agreeable. You have to use Thorn's utility in these high level games. His utility is a lot more than his M1 damage. You have to, if you're gonna M1, it has to be against a target that's not gonna counter you all day long, which Arborist has just been destroying him. And Mega Zero just doing a great job by himself, no matter where he is, just absolutely dominating whichever person he's near. So, you got to respect that too. And Madquist here is going... Oh, I thought he was going to go down to that, but it looks like the corpse explosion is going to take him out. I think it was. And, Thorn is just getting rocked here by Sunbee, just M1 after M1 all day long with those rage stacks. Just brutal right here, as he does have another full bar. He's actually going to use the battle shot right there. Good use, and again, Pomp is by himself to try and fend off the masses of people wanting to rape his head off, or rip. Wow. I'm losing my words here.
GG, well played indeed, as looks like, look at this. Arborist, he's not really well known because he hasn't played on a ton of teams, but he is a very, very good player. He's just like Foda. You don't see Foda a whole lot, but he's, Foda just doesn't have a team, but he's a very good astronomer player, as well as just good healer in general. Fun guy to also talk to. But, there are people that are out there that just need a team, and it's good that, Mushin picked him up. Arby's a great guy as well, but as you can see...
Great player, too. Yeah. Just very, very underrated player that hopefully we'll see more of him.
Yeah, exactly, and it's funny because everybody's like, oh, all the best players are taken. I was like, no, you just gotta look a little bit. There are some people who have time, just don't have a team, so that's why they're not recognized. So, and that's what we're trying to do with BLG. Like, we have a place where people can gather if they're good, if they're looking for a team, things
BLG,
like that.
LG.
Yeah, there are the forums as well, so just look out for that and stuff. But, we are going to be watching Nami Nami versus Kill Dem All.
Kill Dem All.
Kill Dem All.
It's an easy one to remember.
Yeah, and whoops, I don't know if this is Nami Nami.
No, it's
Yeah, this. Cyber. I got Stream Ninja'd. I got Stream Ninja'd over here. Unless on the Cold team they're all smurfing. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe Cyber can give us the.
Cybertronics will give us a little bit of a heads up here. As it looks like, new spear on Spearmaster, and he went in, but good job by Need and Viz to space out immediately with a rocket jump. As it looks like they're going to try and focus Thorn. Not going to come to anything, though, as, entangling roots do happen. And the Warren team's just sitting pretty right now. And I like to see Gunner use her rocket jump offensively. That's good, saving it, just M1 and shoot, as he's just walking around trying to dodge. And, the Spearmaster and Nomad went down so easily. One guy let's take a look at the damage taken.
Pising missed a lot of abilities.
Yeah, I think
you have
he
to hit
missed.
that shuriken and have it bounce to get a good energy gain. You have to land those every time.
Yeah, but like, look, they tried to go onto Thorn, and he did 95 healing. Only took 170 damage, I believe. So 95 of it was his own healing. So effectively, they're just like trying to focus Thorn, and he was just healing through it with his roots. Not very wise. You got to make sure you pick your right targets, as well as hit your abilities, as you were saying.
Yeah, it's a big part of Spearmaster's game is landing everything. Even if you miss one ability as Spearmaster, you're really behind. And Kunjus are a big part of that too, as he's gonna whiff a Kunju. But he is going to hit a shuriken. That's a single, so he's going to get very low energy gain here. Manic, though, just, he's having a lot of room to just throw boomerangs around, and they are trying to focus him, and they're doing a decent job of getting him down, but they're just not making what they need to happen, as Spearmaster is going to get chased away again, and Manic is going to throw a lot of boomerangs, not get a lot of damage off. And wow, nice Fleetfoot right there to avoid that entire rocket launcher spam, as Nina Viz is going to waste a full bar for nothing, but the health advantage vastly in favor of this Worm team here, as this Thorn is being almost uncontested here, as he's just going to go around and beat people with his sticky hands. So already Pising about to go down. One more hit. Nice use of Tempest to get away there. He could have killed himself right there with that cut into the roots, but yeah. They're just going to clean up now, and Manic is going to be the last one remaining, as Nice Moblock is going to avoid that. So it is now a 2-0 advantage for this Worm team, who's I can't think of their name, but I know I know this is a popular team that plays often.
Yeah, OSQ and things like that. Yeah, okay. Team leader Mulk Mulk. Team members OSQ, Needham Viz. Oh, okay, so
Okay, Mulk.
it is so it is Nami Nami. They're just playing with some of their backup members. So that's alright. That's why, we're used to seeing Mulk Mulk Mulk. And that's why, we're a little bit confused on that Thorn. But one guy's going to be playing him right now. And Pising actually doing somewhat of the right thing. I like to see this. He's actually going on to the Alchemist. Keeping the pressure on the healer, and completely whiffs a Harpoon. Not exactly sure what that was all for, but, he's going to get onto the Gunner and move around just a little bit. And not the best Kunju in the world. But, now they've got the Worm team backed up. They put the pressure on the Alchemist, forced him to heal himself. But OSQ, everybody on the Worm team almost has their ultimates. A Cold team just needs to catch up a little bit. And look at this, Pising just about to go down. If Goo comes out after that, oh, he could be going down. No, other side. And they're still not using the ultimates. I wonder why. But here we go, the triple combo. Goo was completely whiffed. Roots did happen, and that's set up for the rocket launcher. And they had this momentum in the beginning, but the Cold team, they lost the pressure. Couple whiffed abilities, and no real focus onto OSQ. I mean, Spearmaster did all that damage by himself onto OSQ. Manic, if he got a good X-Strike after a Whirling Blade, that would have been GG for the Alchemist. But, they didn't follow up.
Yeah, Pising needs to work on that skill cap of Spearmasters. We talk about it every friggin' week. It's a high skill cap class, and unless you play it all the time like another person who has been talked about way too much, then obviously you're going to be good with it. So,
yep. Well, it's unfortunate, and that's the real difference. Maybe in solo matchmaking, he could have done fine with throwing the harpoons and playing like that because lack of team support. But
yeah,
right there, they turned around onto the Spearmaster, and he was actually one of the first to go down. Low. He didn't die first because of the ultimates and stuff like that, but he was the first one to get really low, and once you get low as a Spearmaster, unless you are fully confident in your team, you lose a lot of your momentum. And as we saw, they started backing up, the Roots came out, the Goo came out, the Rocket Launcher came out. They just didn't focus and punish enough shortly, or in a short enough window.
Yeah, and they completely changed their so-called setup, yeah. As, they're going to go with counter to gunner, I guess, with the Ravener pick. A lot of teams will do that. Not essentially in tournaments, but you see a lot of Ravener counter picking against gunner, and you really have to be pretty accurate with the spins against it, though, because a good gunner will always juke the execute past the spin. So we'll see what he decides to do, as he is going to get nice volcano there onto an invisible gunner plus the thorn, so he's going to get some good bar off that. As Pising already playing a little bit more solid, but he is getting caught a little bit too deep here against the enemy team. And again, they're going to go on OSQ here, and OSQ is taking some damage, but they are going to switch off that. I guess they decided that wasn't the way to go with that shield coming out. and they're going to go back onto one guy, a.k.a. Mulk. And Need Invis, I thought he was going to get hit by that ultimate. That ultimate would have been really big right there from Pizing if he would have hit Need Invis, but instead they're going to have a triple ulti coming out pretty soon as a Goomba Stomp is going to hit Need Invis right there. Not going to get a whole lot out of it, though, as he is all by himself, and it's just not going to happen. Pizing, one hit from death.
Oh, my.
For a way in. Lorgoth also low. This Cold team is about ready to crumble under the pressure of their own weight, so... And there they go, a double, triple combo coming out. Triple ulti, I don't care how you set it up. Someone's gonna die, essentially, unless you're really bad.
Unless you're really bad. Yeah, I was about to say, you can just completely smurf all of your ultimates and then they won't be effective. But yeah, no, I agree. Especially with the damage over time stack with the roots and the goo. Absolutely massive damage and huge amount of slows. I think it slows you for the maximum possible in the game. And then you got rocket launchers to just, help keep you either in or just to do, because of the knockback, it could, push you back into the goo. Or, he can just shoot it for damage. And, the one thing about the Cold team last round is that they didn't focus. And look at this. Manic right here, he went in as a Ravener. He used his spin, blinded, disabling shot with the slow, and he got deadly injected, and he's already down to half. Now Logarith can't be offensive as a Psycho Pump, and Pizing just jumped on into the middle of the fight without Ravener going in at the same time, and now he's down to half. You have to go in as a team, or at least wait until an opening comes up for you to, maybe put on a bunch of pressure. Because right now, that was just like a misused space. What if he needs to dodge and execute? Not going to happen. He could have maybe used the space to go by Ravener and then push the Thorn back. And it's just not happening. And they're just going to give up that round right there. As a Worm team, just really moving targets wisely and punishing anybody that goes in alone. Like they did it to the Ravener, they did it to the Igniter whenever they just went in solo, like Rambo.
Yeah, and one thing they got to take into consideration is while Thorn is a big old tank tree, essentially, he does have a very good range game. And he can easily combo his abilities to work well with Gunner, keeping people in place, get an easy execute off, and they have to really actually be careful of that. And right now they're just playing kind of reckless on this Cold team, just trying to put as much damage as humanly possible.
Oh,
no. The Invis is actually going to get capped right there, but Pizing, look at the damage coming out on Pizing on this Igniter. He's going to get other-sided, and a missed swap right there from Lorgoth. That could actually put Pizing in a bad spot, so could actually been a good thing. But look at the HP of the Cold team. They're going to crumble, and wow, OSQ, he just took a huge damage right there, and I think he's going to wait because of that knockback. Oh, looks like he's going to ult in. Pizing going to get the kill there. So great job actually comboing that damage, but Manic is going to die in the meantime, and it's a 2v3 situation, and Lorgoth has to get those heals off while he's in this form. Oh, man, he needs to heal faster. And actually, where'd the other guy go? Lorgoth, where'd he go?
He went
right
other
there.
side, yeah. Sometimes it makes you invis.
Need Invis died. Okay, I didn't see Need Invis die by herself, so interesting happening right there. I missed that, but Gold Team is finally going to take it around.
Finally, yeah. And I'm surprised that they even came on top in that situation. Because we saw Pizing just space into the middle of three people, get down to 50%, and then that forced Lorgoth to have to use his other side. Pizing, because he used that space offensively, really didn't have much. He got pulled back in, and then what's really funny though is that they're just like OSQs in the bottom. Pizing and Man just absolutely went on him so hard, and that's what really got him low and killed him. So as you can see, coordination really does play a huge factor in this game. It's not just like your Bloodline as good punting back and forcing one guy to keep on out of the fight. But look at this, Pizing again using all of his outs. He used all of his outs right there for no reason. I can see the space, but using Living Flame for just an extra 8 damage, he could have avoided the mortar. He could have, forced Lorgoth to not use that other side on him. So it's always very tricky to balance. You see Rex, sometimes he goes in offensive, uses the offensive space, uses the Living Flame just for that damage, then knocks back in Volcanoes.
Well, they have much better team synergy too. It's you can't really. It's a rank 15 team against the top team in the world, essentially. But the idea of what you're saying is there, obviously.
Yeah, but when Rex does that, the pressure's already on, and Spearmaster has been screwing them up so hard already. And the thing with the Igniter that we just saw right there versus on Team Killed 'Em All, he just went in even though there was no pressure by the Ravener.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you're getting down to 50% already, and that's going to force, Psychopomp to play more defensive. Whereas, like, Psychopomp can be an offensive healer. We have seen very offensive Psychopomps like Mega Zero. He just goes in M1s. He'll heal when needed. But that's sort of the power of the Psychopomp as well. The Spiritual Link, if you can do damage while it's bound on everybody with the Soulbind debuff, which spreads damage by 20% to everybody that's hit by it, you can actually, with your M1 spam, make a kind of defensive barrier because you're putting on that much pressure. And, once they're all bound up, if your whole team goes in, you won't need to heal. But Psychopomp playing back, doesn't really have any, good use for the spacebar. He can get an ally out, but then he's in a bad situation. He can't get in close to Scream because he has to, sit back in M2 all day. He has to use his other side on other people, and, that leaves him vulnerable. And he's not using the Bloodline as optimally. And as you saw...
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, what? Normal guy, Abstain, and Blank Out? Yeah, so Acid and Hypnotoads are going to be on the Warm team versus Suir.
Team. Yeah, these guys... I would definitely argue that you don't want to first pick Astro. He's very easy to counter with certain bloodlines, and I think a little bit of inexperience in the competitive scene. I think you want to at least pick him second, or even maybe a last pick in the healer. As I don't think they might have though with the Seeker Nomad. That could have been their comp originally, anyways. But I think he does have a weakness to a few bloodlines. I just can't think of what they are at this point. But either way, they're going to play a heavily range style game over here on this Worm team, and they're going to try and keep people out. But they do have 2 melee tanks, and that's going to make it very difficult for them. As wow, Ducian, look at the Astro dropping so fast already. As Blank Out, just going to use his Blitz. He's stunned right there, can't do anything about it. And already we're seeing that Astro just getting manhandled here, as well as the entire team. So I mean, look at the health bars on the Worm team. It's like they got tickled a bit.
Yeah, I mean, tickle me goo. Look, 36, 54, and 27. Absolutely wrecked the other team. I don't know what they were thinking. Astronomer, okay, with him, if you watch Zayant play for Team Ooga Booga Booga with Mr. 2 and Bloodchamp, he waits to space in, right? He plays defensive, gets those heals up, gets the meter so that he can use EX space in case something happens, and he has to wait for an opening for his team before anything goes on. But right now, now they're playing extremely passive and just getting kited around by this, triple range combo. It's going to be Nomad, Seeker, and Psychopomp. It's something that we've seen a lot from, I guess it's Team... They used to be DEF CON, then now they're Ghostbusters, and things like that. So it's a highly popular composition with 3 range. And that's actually one huge weakness of Astronomer, is range bloodlines and range pressure, because he has a hard time getting in and doing that melee damage. So they have to wait till they get a stone, they have to wait for Vanguard to get a good reflect or just jump in before they can really do anything. And here we go, they're gonna all just use their spaces, but they have nothing to get out of pressure now. Let's see how this turns out.
Yeah, they're still waiting on Ducier to try and get out of it here, as he is actually going to get winded in. And I don't think he has his trance already, and he is just he's in a bad spot now. He's going to get Boomerang Storm, and there was no way for him out. He has, other than his spacebar, he has 0 way to get out. And once that spacebar is down, man, this is bad. This is bad. There's no other way to really say it. That these guys are getting stomped really hard right now, and there's absolutely no other way to put it out to you guys.
And as I was saying before, Astronomer, he needs somebody to cover his back, and he also needs an opening. But against a triple range setup, the power of the triple range is that they create that zone, and if you space in foolishly, they'll be able to use everything on you, and you'll have used one of your most important, if not the most important, escape ability in the game. If you notice in the beginning of those rounds, they just space in, and the other team would be like, okay, we were just shooting M1s. Now we're going to knock you back with multi-arrow. We're going to knock you back with wind strike. We're going to, tornado. We're going to X-strike you because you all spaced in close to each other, trying to put on some pressure. And as much as I say, everybody jump on one target, you have to know the right time to do that.
Yeah, it looks like they got this set up in their mind that they are going to run. So I think if they're going to run a triple melee, they got to be more aggressive. And a lot of being more aggressive is Astro has to be aggressive with that space, but at the same time, his tanks got to actually put out the amount of damage so that they can't just run around and get free damage on them all day long and force Astro to just right-click the whole time trying to keep up, and he just can't keep up. Astro heals aren't that amazing. Yeah, they're fast, but they're just not. They're not the quality they need on a team that if they fall behind will make up for it. And a lot of that comes from, this Gold team has to land more abilities, get that damage out here. And I think with a Rennet, it's a little easier now for the Astro to counter some of the damage because it's very easy to trans a melee hero against in range. But already Vanguard is going to be going down there very quickly, as it looks like they might be giving up, as I didn't see Astro moving there for at least 3 or 4 seconds.
Well, it was actually a good use of the EX Ice Arrow.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he used
I thought
that.
there was a graphic for that. I must not have seen that.
Yeah, he was just frozen in darker blue ice off into the left side. And, that's a good use. Keep people out of the fight. CCs are so important in this game. Crowd controls. 2.8 seconds or, 2.5 seconds. Ginormous amount of time in this game. As it looks like, interesting. They're going to be going down bottom, trying to maybe come up with some kind of strategy, keep things closed in, and force the range to play in their kind of zone. It's looking like they're at least doing a little bit more damage than the other rounds, but right now they're getting a little bit spread out, and Dooms is going to be going in, trying to get on the Seeker here, as Vanguard's going to keep the healer busy over there in the corner, but nope. One more hit, one more arrow. He does go down. The mighty Vanguard just collapsing to his feet without a nice battle roar to go out with, and that's just going to be, wrapping things up as it's a 2v1. Yeah, they got that kill there, and I like that kind of change up. They forced the Warm team to play a little bit more in their territory, to come on in and to, get in that melee range so Astronomer didn't have to space in. But it just didn't pay off because lack of focus and lack of actually hitting abilities and things like that.
Yeah, Vanguard wasn't able to land a whole lot of anything, honestly.
2.9 TPS. That's evidence.
He got 70 damage right there, and 70 damage when this team has to land a lot of abilities, has to be very aggressive. It's they can just kite you around the map, and Rennet, even though he's melee, he's very good at kiting himself. So you have to watch out for his abilities. Just jump around, find a way in and then go back out, just like he did right there. He just found a way in, and actually a nice trance right there from Ducien, getting out of that stun combination right off the bat. And Wusiak, I have not seen him use Shield Bash. You might want to think about using that on a target that they're not focusing, and that just halves their damage or heals right there. So a huge ability that they're just not taking advantage of, and it has a lot to do with Vanguard getting changed quite a bit here in the last couple weeks. So a lot of teams are going to be working on that. But Ducien, again, he just got soloed down by Rennet, and there's nothing really else you can say about that. You have to win those fights, especially as a healer, when you're not getting help from your team. It's acceptable if you're getting 2v1 and you're not getting help, but you can't lose a 1v1 as a healer, or else you're just not going to win, period.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. And let's look at something here. Going to go to round 3. Look at Deuce. He did not do a single M1. When that Rennet was on him, he did not do a single M1. He did not attempt to attack when people were in his melee range. And that's a huge part of Astronomer's game. If you look, Astronomer is one of the few Bloodlines that has a special ability with his mouse 1. It actually applies a very, very nice debuff. Oops, gonna go back to the knowledge base here. Got invited to another game. Taz, I'll get you in. Oh, you're already in. Hey, everybody loves you.
People are starting to know what my name is nowadays.
I know, you're getting famous, buddy. But if you see this Sun Shadow, the debuff that's applied, reduces movement speed by 33%, reduces damage and healing done by 33% for 2.4 seconds. On a Rennet or on somebody that you're trying to burst down or get pressure off of yourself or a teammate, that's huge to do an M1. Also, it does 10 extra damage. If you look up at the top, it says Spectro Strike, does 12, 13, 14 damage. And if you do have all of that energy and you see the little glowy circle around his feet, he can hit for 22 damage. No problem. Right there.
26 back, I think. 26 on the back, I believe.
Yeah. So, I mean, he can do a lot of damage as well as it applies that huge debuff.
Yeah, damage and healing debuff, so it's basically a weakened debuff.
Yeah, and we didn't see him use an M1 at all. And so, as Astronomer and as any Bloodline, like this goes for any Bloodline, know all of your abilities and how to use them before actually like trying to master them. You know, you can pick one up and be like, oh, this looks cool, but actually read all of the abilities. I can't tell you how important it is.
And a lot of that has to do with time spent playing too. If you just play, random Bloodlines all the time, then obviously you're gonna be behind the curve. You're gonna know the abilities, but at the same time, you're never gonna be able to master any. And at this point of level, and when you're getting the competitive scene, you have to at least have somewhat of an idea about mastery before you can get to a broad knowledge. And even I guess I shouldn't really say that, because you have to have a broad knowledge of going against teams, because every team's going to play a little differently and have a little different setup. So I don't know. It just, for me personally, it comes naturally. I always read every ability before I even played this game, so I knew what everyone did the first time I played. And but I guess we're going to be going into this one. It's Nami Nami against some team I've never heard of before. Cast will keep me updated on that after this, but it looks like Spearmaster are putting a lot of aggression on OSQ Law. I mean, this is what the Spearmaster should have been done those games ago, but wow, a little too much damage right there and no heals. So Verdi, I guess he was trying to get in position, just couldn't get there though. And the Spearmaster had the right idea, but he needs the healer support and he needs the other support from his inhibitor. That's a Nomad. And Nomad was doing his own thing in the middle of the map while Spearmaster was 1v2ing OSQ and Need and Viz. So I think if they can tweak that a little bit, I think they could have something going for them right there.
Yeah, and he had 12.7 TPS. He was doing a lot of damage. And if you noticed, one guy, he was out in the middle where Need and Viz and OSQ were in the back corner dealing with Spearmaster. Why on earth, as a Nomad, are you trying to go after a Thorn? He's a tank. He can heal himself with M1. Ignore him. Try and get on the real targets. And it looks like Tellurian here not having the best day of his life. And Finex, oh man, he is going to go down. XQ didn't quite kill him, and that was actually the roots. As much as I say, go in, as a Nomad and help your teammates out, he went a little bit too far in. He's a ranged Bloodline.
I think you took your advice a little too literally right there, as he was getting poked in the back by Thorn that whole time. He was trying to get in. He was like, oh, I'm just going to ignore this Thorn while he gets a full bar on my back. So, yeah, I would say don't take the advice too literally. You have to find your own groove and momentum for yourself. You just can't. You just can't run past the Thorn and let him hit you in the back the whole time.
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit more
finesse.
I can't think of the word, but it's almost like common sense, I guess you could say. You just can't let him hit you the whole time and do nothing about it. So you have to change your strategy based on the what's going on. And actually, instant injection comes out on Tellurian, and he is in a whole lot of trouble right now. But the rest of his team is at decent life. But now Finex is max range XQ right there, barely hitting the tip of that, and he's going to get popped. And again, this Cole team is going to crumble under the pressure, and 3-0 there for Team Nami Nami. So Nami Nami looking pretty good right now against these, I don't know, I guess you could call them new teams to the scene, because I have not seen them before.
Yeah, it's Team Logix, so...
And they are, usually when you see I guess you call them the veterans nowadays, the veteran teams, they're all over rank 16. They're 16 plus, period. I mean, they all play matchmaking together, and that's how you can tell the teams that have been around. So, I mean, you look at Team Nami Nami over here, they got 221s and grade 17, and that's Mokmok's Smurf account. So, I mean, he's still over the 16 mark, and I think 16 has got to be the cutoff for what you would consider the high-ranked competitive teams right now. At least currently on the market.
Yeah, once you get, you can only do up to 15.
Not my God.
No, it's not Mokmok. Yeah, no, these are just sub-ins. So.
How dare he play Thorn?
How dare he play Thorn? He was playing Thorn all the time.
Okay. My mistake. I'm sorry, guys. Crisis averted.
It's okay. Concussion. Blame it on the concussion.
I can't blame that. It's been a week. I just got a cut in my head. That's it.
I mean, small cut. It can do a whole lot. Trust me, I had a friend who had a concussion, and he's forgotten some stuff over time. But Taza is so bad at knowledge. They're smurfing. They're listening to, well, not smurfing. They're
Everyone's
ghosting.
listening.
They're
Everyone's
ghosting.
They know exactly where everyone's hiding. How dare these guys?
You can't really use that here in BLC, though, because it's like a 10-second delay. Oh, and Kunju not used it at the right time. Tried to harpoon and not take that damage from the deadly injection. Not going to happen, though. Almost got the timing correct. And Verdi, in the middle of the fight, he can use his scream pretty soon, but he's taken down to 50% HP, as well as Tolorian over here. OSQ, look at this. Doing M1s. He knows he can put up a lot of pressure with those M1s, and he's not just spamming M2. You can play Bloodlines a completely different way, and Alchemist's M1 is actually very powerful.
Yeah, I think the Spearmaster actually just got out M1'd by an Alchemist right there, and that's as Cast with a K would say, that's no bueno. So
it's no bueno, senor. Look at that, more damage on OSQ than the actual Spearmaster.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
You know, I play Battle Alch sometimes as well. The M1 is very good. Yeah, the M1 on Alchemist is very good.
Great animation, and it's very quick, so you're not gonna spend too much time sitting there. You can the M1 is just so good. That's period. That's all you gotta say about it. And again, OSQ, look at him. He's just throwing out the M1 spam because he's got no one to heal. So it's like, why the hell not do damage? And again, nice sleep there into an injection. Tolorian's going to be popping here, and he does not use his Fleet Foot in time. So that's what you got to save the Fleet Foot for. When you play Spearmaster against an Alchemist, save the Fleet Foot for countering deadly injections. If you can counter those, that's 50% debuff on your damage. And man, that's one hell of a Dead Roots right there. One guy catching Finex and who was a Verdi right there, completely inside, and there was nowhere they were going. And again, these guys really like their triple ulti or double ulti combinations. It seems to be working really well for them.
Yep, and as you saw right there, OSQ was playing a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie with that pillar, and also with Tolorian. Spearmaster, and he tries to get on the Alchemist, and he can put good pressure, as we saw before. But using that pillar very effectively is a huge asset and a huge gameplay mechanic for an Alchemist, or healers in general, against melee pressure, because that allows for a little bit of time where the DPS isn't doing anything, and as a healer, as an Alchemist, you can just throw a barrier on your allies and just keep running around and be like, haha, Spearmaster, you're doing nothing, whereas I'm actually still being somewhat effective. And OSQ, he just got swapped in, but a good switch here by the Worm team. They came in, they helped support, and Tolorian's trying to go back in, and Finex trying to find a room to do an X-Strike. Good one right there. OSQ could be in a lot of trouble. Barrier's going down. Desperate Goo could come out, and no, that's not going to happen. They actually take out Nomad in the back. Need and Viz getting those dirty pot shots off. And look at that. The Roots to finish up along with an Execute for that 58 damage. And that's going to be an easy 3-0 for Team Nami Nami. They are climbing the ladder quite rapidly, as it looks like they will be going on to face Mushin in the brackets.
Who did Mushin end up beating? I don't have the bracket screen up because
they defeated Mouth Like a Tuba.
Okay, so another team I've never heard of. So obviously, the summary I'm going to put in here, not to be mean anything to new guys. I mean, it's very difficult scene to get in right now. It's a very new game, somewhat, but the teams that have been here a while are very big part of the foundation of this game. So, the guys that are the veterans, I guess is a better word to say. The veterans are very, very strong right now. They've all been playing quite a while. There's not many new teams right now making a big hit onto the scene because, all the old timers are just so good. And I guess they're kind of sifting through the pack right now, and it shows in the winners brackets who's left on top still so far.
Yep, and looks like we're just trying to wait for Acid and Hypnotoad's opponents to get on back into the scene here.
Firar, got a question for Cast on stream.
What? Somebody's got a...
Do we have a new BLG TV site going up?
Yes. Well, not the BLG TV site.
I thought it was just like a BLG site.
We do... I think I might go against Mike's orders and actually show you a sneak peek of the new site. He'll yell at me later, but...
Hey, they do this in a lot of MMOs nowadays. They do these controlled leaks, as they call them, and they leak information on purpose, and they make it seem like it was accidental. So just to increase the hype. So
Yeah.
we'll call it that.
All right, but I've got to. I can't show you the actual stream link, so I'm gonna have to add a little media file. I'm gonna have to browse through, find a. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna get this guy. We're gonna cover up the URL with this.
This is all Cast's idea. Just pointing that out.
Just pointing that out. Crap. Can't use that. JK. I gotta find another image so I can cover up the bar so you guys can't, look at everything that we're doing. BL Gaming, we did realize that our site sucked, and I've been yelling at Sobi for so long, and he's like, alright, fine, we'll get a new site completely redone from the ground up. And I know we've been saying that for a while, but he's actually doing it, and we actually do have fancy new things in the works. Also, it's going to not be done in Drupal, because nobody knew how to actually use Drupal. So, yeah, things are going to be good. And we're just waiting, again, for the opponents of Acid and Hypnotoads, which would be Quake Buddies, to join the game. And we'll be joining pretty shortly. And I guess I'll take a screenshot and just black out
Everything?
No, I can't do that. Because then they can't see.
You should black out everything except for a little dot in the middle.
A little dot in the middle? Yeah, here you go, guys. Sneak peek. Sneak peek. Put like a little keyhole, graphic up.
That'd be pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
That'd be clever. But I think I'd get a lot of hate mail. Not gonna lie.
That's okay. You got your own account for that hate mail that you can just hit that delete button after you look at your chatter and stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I use it for. I read everyone's chatter. That's it.
Alright.
No one sends me nothing. That's okay, though.
Oh, poor Taz. He feels left out. Alright, we're going to use your name, Taz. As,
Why my name?
As the thing that's going to block out the URL link.
What?
Because I don't have a black bar anymore to cover it up. Alright, hold on. Let's see if this works. And... Aha! It does work. You cannot see where what the URL link is. But here is the basics of the new site. It is not completed at all whatsoever, but as you can see, it is completely redesigned. It's not going to be in that dark theme. We're still going through a lot of layout stuff. But things will be easier. You can actually see your profile, forum stats, have all of these nice little links where you can follow people, recent topics, blogs, and again, nothing is final, but we have all of our games in one place now. We have our tournaments, Kill the King US Weekly and League that we're going to announce soon. Whoops, wasn't supposed to show you that. And we can change anything up here, and got a lot of sponsor tags and look much nicer, much easier to navigate, and I would say it's faster too because it's not part of the Drupal. We're going to have a dedicated server for it upon release. If we just go to the forums, they're also attached as well. So, whoops, what did I just do? Oh, here we go. The game's about to start. So I'll show you guys more about that later, but we are still working on a lot of stuff.
Controlled leaks, guys. Controlled
leaks. Controlled leaks.
If Mike says otherwise, we're dead.
We're dead, yes. Might get in trouble for that, but I figure you guys need to know what's going on, and you guys have stuck around through all the troubles that BL Gaming has gone through, and even though we have just sort of put some things together left and right, we are making an effort to improve and always to grow. So there you go. That's sort of an appreciation token for all of you watching right now.
And we are going to see some interesting picks right off the bat here from this cold team. I mean, those are what I would consider two heroes that don't work too well together.
What, Ravener and Harbinger?
Rab Harv? I don't know. The punt is one of those things that you have to use it to get someone away. And, it's kind of like a not detrimental, but they're like opposite mechanics. Like you got Ravener who's good at getting rid of people, and then you got a Harbinger that's good at getting people in. So it's like the backwards of each other. I guess you can like punt someone out and then pull someone in at the same time, and I guess that would work. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can punt one guy out and then pull another guy in, Taz.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know, but I guess you could say you don't really see that all too often. You don't see a Rav combined with a Harb. At least I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good in terms of survivability as well. because you have another shift in case the Ravener goes in, maybe a little bit too aggressive once the spinning strike is down. You know, he can use Nether Shift if failed aggression happens. I mean, I think they could work well together, but it'll be tricky to see how it goes. And Harbinger has a lot of slows in terms of, on his Plague, he has the Blood Grip Hemorrhage, he has the Nether Shift Hemorrhage debuff, which slows for 20%, I believe. Let me double check that. Is cast correct? 20%? Yes, 20%.
Show
20%.
me potato salad. All right.
And then, yeah, show me what? Show me the potato salad. Yeah, it's a 20%.
That's like, what was that, Pyramid or some shit? One of those old-ass game shows? Anyway.
Taz, I'm not that old, buddy. Old Grandpa Taz over here.
Whatever, man.
Game shows from the 20s.
That was like 70s or something. It's ridiculous. That was like back when people had like, you know, giant mustaches and glasses like as big as their face. So anyway, we are going to see another range. Oh, yeah, that's the same team, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is going to be...
Strat
Hassan Hypnotoads is going to be on the warm team, and then Quake Buddies is on the cold team. So this is the winner semifinals as well.
Oh, is it? Okay, but I really want to point out that Bubba, I really like the Herald pick against this team especially. I mean, you got triple range, and that bubble is going to be huge when they have no melee pressure against the Herald. I think the Herald should do very well here with some well-placed bubbles. I think this could be easily turned around at any time for the cold team, assuming they do everything the way they need to. As right now, they're putting the pressure onto Blank Out, and I think this is what they really have to have is the pressure against this very ranged team. But wow, already Bubba getting smoked right here as Foxley's doing what he can. He's just not able to reflect anything right now, or they're just seeing it too well. And again, EX Ice Arrow coming out into Bubba, trying to disable him as long as possible. And Bubba, I think, is going to be going down. Other that or Foxley. Foxy is in trouble, but it looks like Bubba's going to be the first one to get taken out with a nice X strike there from Normal Guy. And man, this team is just so strong right now. They know when to hold back. They don't get anything reflected from spin or the bubble, and they just have great control on that right now.
Yeah, the bubble is something pretty easy to see, as well as Bubba made a little bit of a mistake in the beginning, in my